I thought I'd share my story about my little Chinese mini micro excavator I bought, probably 6 months ago. Let me give you a little disclaimer. I've never had a piece of heavy machinery before. This is my first one. And I wanted one, so I got one. I use this thing all the time. It is a lot of fun. It's like playing a video game to me. Can it do everything in the world? No. Can it do what a bigger one can do? No. But is it fun to play with? Yes. So let me tell you a little bit about my machine, why I like it, why I think everybody probably should have one of these things. So let me go over the basics. So I did a lot of searching. You can buy little AGTs for $3,000 to $6,000 everywhere. Auctions, you can find them on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, they're everywhere. This one I got in Muskogee, Oklahoma from this company Kimron. He imports them from China. He gets them set up the way he wants them. Little things like it's got a hydraulic thumb. It comes with a little bash plate on this ram here. I like that. The controls are a little bit better than the average one. It comes with a electric fan, a hydraulic cooler. So in here, turn the power on, and that turns on the hydraulic cooling fan, and it's got a hydraulic cooler right there. Sitting on my little Briggs & Stratton motor. And then once you turn it on, that gives you your gauges. And just fire it up. You've got your throttle right here. Throttle down, throttle way up. I usually run it right about in the middle, and it does fine. These little tracks, they do pretty well on this, but it doesn't have much ground clearance. See those motors on the rear? There's not much ground clearance at all, so it's not difficult to get, I guess, rear centered or kind of like high centered. This roll bar, as it's called, is not. That's just a roof holder. These are roof holders, because this is if this thing flipped over, I think that would work like a mouse trap and just snap. Some of the cool things about this machine, see these metal lines? I like the metal lines. It's got a bunch of those. I think that's probably a little more durable. On the arm of this hydraulic ram, it's got this. Actually, you can see I've hit it. So that actually really does its job. That's positive. Yeah, it is bent. See? That's a good thing to have on one of these. Some of them come with thumbs, not all of them, but this thumb, this is a hydraulic thumb. And that I use all the time. I pick things up using a hydraulic thumb a lot. Now, that thumb is operated with this pedal. To grab, you push down, to release, you push back. Very simple. This dozer blade is pretty cool. I use it a lot. It's got on the ends, it hangs down a little bit. So when you put this down on a driveway, kind of like this, see how that sticks up? It does the same on the bottom, not as much, but a little bit. So the edges gouge the crap out of concrete. I decided to jump on eBay and get some decals. So everyone knows that this is my little Tonka toy. This has the Briggs & Stratton motor. The engine looks like it's probably a booger to get to do any work to. I would imagine you have to dismantle a bunch of parts on the machine to get to that motor. Easy to fill the gas. The fuel shutoff is way down there, and that's really hard to get to. But yeah, it looks like I might have a little bit of a leak there. Or no, I spilled. That's what it was. I spilled hydraulic fluid. But anyway, it gets really hot in the summer. It's probably a good, this cheesy insulation it came with doesn't stick. I think I'm gonna clean that all off and put some better insulation on there. Some of the fit and finish is a little strange, like why is that not centered in the hole? That's the hydraulic fluid fill. And then why does the exhaust come out here and that's the exhaust hole? I don't know. Just some of the little things on this are a little strange, but again, this was only a $10,000 machine. It was not a $50,000 machine. Fog light on the front. Mine I ordered with the hydraulic swing boom, so not only does the whole cabin turn, but you can turn it and then the boom will turn separately. So I'll show you that in a minute. This thing weighs a little over 2,000 pounds, so it can't do a whole lot of big digging, and it can't do everything that you might want to do, but this thing can go places that most can't. So I'm out here in the woods, and I can drive this thing right in between the trees without tearing them all up. I can get into tight places that most people can't with their mini excavators. I could squeeze in between buildings, and I could dig a trench where most machines couldn't. I actually had a guy down the way at a cabin have me dig him a trench for his AC because his backhoe would just wreck too much of the ground. And this thing with its little 8-inch bucket, it does great. Let me share with you the attachments I have for my machine. So this I purchased when I bought the machine. This is the 8-inch trenching bucket. It came with this one. This is a 16-inch bucket, the standard one that comes with it for digging. This is the 30-inch bucket for grading. Notice it doesn't have the teeth on it. And then this is the rake or grapple, which I bent the living daylights out of some of the teeth, but it still works great. I need to bend those back. Doesn't seem to be the strongest metal in the world. So there was a pond here, just a swampy, nasty pond over this whole area. And so I came in here with this Mini X and I dug this big old trench with it. And it worked great. I actually think I dug it just a little too far here because it's not draining. I need to dig a little more over there to get it all draining out. But literally, this was all a big pond all the way through. So I came and trenched this all the way around to get all the runoff down there. And then I came through here and I trenched all this, which clearly is working really well. And this goes all the way back through the trees through my property. So if for nothing else, just this one project saved me hundreds and hundreds of dollars over paying a guy to come up with a machine or going and renting the machine. So we use this all the time for moving tree limbs, big huge ones. Here's a big chunk of a pine tree we cut down that I'm moving. So I thought it looked kind of cool. But yeah, I don't want to drag that by hand. So I would much rather use this. This stick here controls your dozer blade. Standard excavator stuff. This is your up and down. This also controls your bucket side to side. The pedal here controls your thumb. one here controls your arm. Yeah, super easy to use. Yeah. And then these are your forward and reverse. And then this is your side swing. Press this switch, and then your arm's gonna move, but your cabin stays in place. Flip that switch again, and then you can swing it all the way around. Give you a little disclaimer. I've never had a piece of heavy machinery before. This is my first one. I've never driven a skid steer. I've never driven a tractor. I don't know anything about these. I wanted one of them. We have a bunch of projects. I don't feel like digging by hand. I don't feel like pushing dirt by hand, and I want to move all kinds of trees and big logs, and I wanted one. So I got one. I don't know if I'm doing it the right way. It works for me. but yeah, just don't take anything I say as expert advice, because I am not an expert. I'm just a guy with a baby excavator. That's my disclaimer. Let me show you how it digs. So this is my little Tonka toy. Yeah, it's a cool little machine. Are there better ones out there? Yes. Are there bigger ones out there? Yes. Does this one do what I need it to do? Yes. So I keep it lubed regularly. There's a whole bunch of grease points all around on this thing. It's got a couple things down here you need to grease. Keep your cabin rolling on a regular basis. There's a little side cover you're supposed to pull off and grease the tracks so that they have the correct tension. Yeah, pull that little cover off and you can grease down in there. And you got to go both sides on these grease zerts. I mean, they're everywhere. So I keep those going. And so far so good. We've got 20 some hours on the machine, and it's working great. It's starting to get dark out here, so I guess that wraps up the video. I really appreciate you all sticking around and watching. Hopefully I was able to help some of you, give you a little bit of information, see what it's like to have one of these things. So far I have a great experience. I'd highly recommend getting one. It's a whole lot better than breaking your back with a shovel. You do so many little things with it. I find new things to do with it all the time. Anyway, I know you hear this all the time on YouTube, but if you can click that like and subscribe, it would really help me out. I know everyone says it, I know, but it's real. It actually matters for the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, if you could do me that favor, that would be great. If you like the content, if you don't like it, That's fine too. Anyway, have yourself a great day, and hopefully you enjoyed. Enjoy your time in the trees.